Now this is what Christmas is all about.
Gimme, 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 gimme. Just when you think all your presents are accounted for, that's the time you gotta ask for more.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation, and our holiday special.
And today we're covering the Garfield Christmas special, simply titled Garfield Christmas.
Very simple. Now, this special is based on the comic strip, and it's still a fun and heartwarming special showing Garfield and the gang spending Christmas with John's family. Better go grab your tissues for this one. But
Before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and keep watching future podcasts and multiple videos.
yes, thank you for joining us today. Subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting. Hope you're enjoying the season, and as always, we appreciate everything you do.
Yes.
Now, this special originally aired in 1987, and it's actually semi-autobiographical.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Really? Okay. But I probably didn't know. Just knew that this was part of the collection of TV specials Garfield and them having years and years ago. And I only saw them because either one, and I had gotten the original book formats for the comic strips, or they had the TV specials on DVD in those little collections. And this was part of a holiday collection they had at one point to rent.
The 7th.
Yes, that's it.
And interestingly, this special was actually broadcast every year from December 21st of 87 through December 14th of 2000, which was the final time it was broadcast. So it used to come on every year.
It was like Charlie Brown with the Charlie Brown Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff. So I guess they said, well, you're going to pay for it now.
And it was actually nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program.
Really? And
Which is funny because when you watch it, it's like, this was nominated for a Primetime Outstanding Emmy. Not that it's not good, guys. It's just so funny and so crazy.
Right.
You're surprised that they actually appreciated it and nominated it for an award.
And much like the Peanuts one, it's really, really simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had Garfield and Friends which dealt with some really wacky, outlandish storylines. Like the most mundane cat gets into crazy scenarios, and that's what made it really fun to watch. The holiday specials so far that we cover have been very tame. There's still crazy stuff happening, but not the extent of it's just going off the rails crazy like other specials or the TV show did.
Mm-hmm.
This one decided to go the Peanuts route and just keep it really simple. It's being about family, it's spending time with each other.
And the true meaning of the holiday.
Right. So it is interesting that they went a different route for it, but it still felt like Garfield while you watched it.
Yes. Now, created and written by Jim Davis, that's how it's semi-autobiographical, and directed by Phil Roman. You had your usual cast of stars, and then you also had Pat Carroll as Grandma Arbuckle, which we'll talk about a little more later. And at the time, she was a huge star.
Yes.
They had quite a few songs that were popular. Gimme, 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 Gimme.
Oh
by
my
Lou
gosh,
Rawls.
in the opening, yes.
Can't Wait Till Christmas, actually performed by Tom Hughes, Lorenzo Music, and Greg Berger. Oh, Christmas Tree was performed by Pat Carroll.
Okay.
You Can Never Find an Elf When You Need One.
Oh my
Performed by Lou
God.
Rawls and Desiree Galite. A Good Old Fashioned Christmas, which is the end song performed by the ensemble group. And Here Comes Garfield from the special of the same name can be heard instrumentally when John wakes up Garfield from his dream.
Ah, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, again, it's something just really simple, but yet still entertaining. There's no having the Santa Claus or Christmas magic or any of those types of scenarios where anything goes because it's the holiday season. It was just a really simple thing with spending time with John's family, and even a heartwarming ending with having to do with Odie making something. You find out at the end he made something for Garfield. And there's even a point in there where they have a sort of somber moment when they have Garfield with the grandma. And this is why we say get your tissues, because it's kind of surprising to see a moment like that in Garfield. 'Cause the only other time they did that is when he found his mom in another special. And it showed that even with all the craziness Garfield had, there was a time and place where it could be serious, it could be wholesome, and actually have your attention for those types of deep moments.
Now, although it's semi-autobiographical, I'll get to that in a moment, the part about the grandma was entirely fictional.
Really?
He said he wanted that to represent the emotional subplot of having loved ones at Christmas, having time with them.
Right.
But that part was fictional. It was not based on his life.
Okay.
However, when he was writing the teleplay, it was based on his experiences. He was celebrating Christmas with his family on their farm in Indiana,
Ah, okay.
with many of the Arbuckles modeled after Davis's family members. Now, his real-life brother was known as Doc Boy.
Oh!
So now
was
we
your
know where
friend-
Doc Boy comes from.
Yes, because you had asked during it, why is he called Doc Boy? Well, now you know.
And he said this just basically represented his Christmas on the farm.
Right.
So that's what
simple.
we're supposed to appreciate. What it represents for the season, what it represented in his life, and what it represents for the emotional experiences people have during the time.
Right.
So who would have known this simple, silly, fun holiday special would have so much more deeper meaning in watching it?
Right. And even deeper, that this is one of the very, very rare times that Garfield did not cause chaos or ruckus or trouble or try to open up people's presents or eat all the food, because the mom made enough for like 2 families at least. So
Right.
Garfield had his fill, surprisingly. And he didn't cause any mess this time. He was just, he didn't want to be there at first, but even he ended up enjoying spending the holidays with them, because it wasn't just him and John and Odie. It was actually more people involved. And at the end, he actually said he appreciated being with everybody. Even though they can't hear him, he appreciated them.
And Garfield loved Grandma just rubbing him, having him on her lap,
Yeah.
and spoiling him. He loved it.
Yes.
He absolutely loved it. So that probably was his favorite part.
Right.
And she talked to him like he could understand her.
Right.
And he listened like he could understand her.
Yes.
So that was a fun part.
Yes.
So the animation was the same as in the other specials.
Right.
You didn't have anything like, now when they do a movie or a special, you see the animation tends to be different. But in here, it stayed consistent throughout all the specials. They
Yes.
didn't go out of pocket trying to make something big and spectacular. And I think that's pretty neat to note that whenever they made a special, it was supposed to represent something that everyone would experience or have in their lives. And I guess for that reason, just kept the animation simple
Right.
and the same as usual.
Right. And I think it worked for this, because Garfield is one of those few things that doesn't need to have something really outlandish for the animation. If it's funny, it can write itself. And that was sort of the issue when they had the Garfield movie last year or year before last, at this point or something. And it felt like they were trying to rely on it being really zany and fluid looking, trying to make every exaggerated detail be funny when they spoke, rather than relying on the movie itself to be funny. And this is what you miss with really now classic Garfield, where it could balance everything out, regardless if it was a special, a series, a 2D movie. It always knew how to make you laugh or make you cry, make you sentimental, make you question things that Garfield does. It always delivered every time. And I think this is definitely one of those specials you see each year, just like the Peanuts one.
True. So the cast returned. Lorenzo Music is Garfield. Tom Hewitt is John Arbuckle. Greg Berger is Odie. Pat Harrington and Julie Payne were his dad and mom, Arbuckle.
Really? Okay.
David Lander is Doc Boy.
Shoot, don't call me
And
Doc
Pat
Boy.
Carroll is Grandma Arbuckle. And that's his paternal grandmother.
Okay.
So it's fun. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and give it a try. We actually are seeing all of the specials on Peacock. They've got,
Yes.
I think, 8 out of 12.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm not sure which ones they're missing. We'd have to check, but we're not able to see them. This special runs 24 minutes, so it's not short as they all tend to, not long,
Right.
as they all tend to be short.
Right.
And this, again, had 3 production companies, Phil Roman, United Media, and Paws Inc. I always laugh every time I see that.
Right.
But Garfield Christmas, if you're just looking for other things that you want to have nostalgia or something simple to watch for your season, then we definitely recommend this. And you can probably pile a bunch of these shorter ones up and watch them in a day and get a lot of variety, a lot of
Yes.
fun, and a lot of joy from watching them.
Yes,
Now, if
absolutely.
you've seen a Garfield Christmas, let us know in the comments. And if you haven't, Go ahead and give it a try. Again, it's available on Peacock to watch. And if you know if it's available anywhere else, let us know in the comments.
And if you don't always discover updates and legal reviews for your anime series, anime shows, and all things animation, including holiday specials.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today, taking time for the holiday season. As always,
You are special. Thank you so much for watching Master Entertainment.
and Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
Happy holidays.
Yay!